Welcome back. Wow, this is the episode after our wonderful chat with Miss Amber Moselle and her completion of a 250-mile foot race. And afterwards, we were all kind of kibitzing and talking about, and the conversation about drive and ambition came up. And what our drive was in our younger years and where our drive and ambition is now. And is there a difference? And I've been noodling on that from our last recording. And for myself, yes, absolutely. My drive and my ambition is totally different. Beforehand, I think my drive was more driven with, this is what I should be doing. This is the corporate ladder. I should be, if I was in a corporate world, I should be traveling up that corporate ladder. And I should be, my ambition should be towards getting a home and doing these different things that were kind of expected of me. Mm-hmm. And that was more of my drive and my ambition. And now my drive and my ambition is off of what I want to do. So I have drive and I have ambition. I started my business over 60. I had lost my job due to COVID. And it was like, no, I don't want to work for somebody anymore. I want a business. My ambition is not to run 250 miles, but to continue to push my body in ways my body has never been pushed before, and to do different types of races and to do different things I've never done before. So yes, I think there is a difference. I don't know. What about you guys?
Oh, there's a difference. Oh, there's a difference.
See, you're so funny. What's the difference?
Well, I totally agree with Michelle that is kind of when I was younger. I think also, in my day, it was very clear the path you supposedly would take. Like, now it's a lot different. I feel that there's a lot of more opportunities. You're aware of way more than, we were aware of what was in front of us, kind of thing. And now you have the whole world to see what's around. So I totally agree. I was more like, this is what you got to do. You got to go up your corporate ladder, all that stuff. And now everything that my drive and ambition is, maybe this is really self-centered, is improving me and getting out of my comfort zone. Like, that is my whole existence outside of family and all that stuff. Like looking at my, a family there, but I want to push myself. I want to push myself in a personal growth way. And then by doing that, taking that information and trying to help others. So it was very me when I was younger, and it's still me. Don't it's still me, but trying in a different way. Oh, maybe I've grown up. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. And I actually, as I was sitting there listening to you gals talk, I was like, I wonder if drive and ambition doesn't just automatically change throughout the seasons of our life, because we are changing, right? That it's automatically going to alter and be different. I guess sometimes I think, I know when I was thinking about this topic earlier, I was thinking that when you're younger, I had this thought that when you're younger, you have more drive and ambition than you do when you're older. And I know for the three of us, that's not the case. We are outside that box. But I'm wondering if that is not partially true. That when you're younger, you are career driven. You want to do things differently. You want to conquer stuff. Whereas when you're older, I don't know, I'm just going to disagree with myself there. I still feel that way. So
I was
I
going to
still
say, because
have that.
conquer,
Yeah.
that word, I'm going, no, I still want to conquer some stuff here.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So I don't know, maybe it doesn't change at all. I think what changes is what you're trying to conquer, or what you're driven for, right? Whereas before, it's like for somebody else and for family and all of those kinds of things. Whereas, like you said, now it's you. It's about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's like also our age thing, right? So that, like I said, now people can see all these other opportunities. So maybe their drive in their 20s or 30s is their lifestyle, and it's taken a different turn, where when we grew up, your lifestyle was this: you got your house, you did this, like, I don't know, it just seems
Certainly,
that there's more
I think
opportunity, so that maybe your drive and ambition is different.
Yeah, I know certainly for I look at I look at how we worked in our jobs, certainly how I worked in my job, and it is very different. There's a very different mentality, I believe, with this generation in terms of what jobs mean. It's not, the job isn't the end all be all. Whereas growing up for me, it was like the job has to be the end all be all. Like that's what you're going for here, right? The career. And work hard. Whereas, and like put in all the overtime and do whatever it is that you need to do. And I like this generation has, I think, swung the other way, where it's like, you know what, there's a whole world out there besides the job.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. I think that's like, it's good that is being experienced, because I know my parents were exactly the same as I was. It was about, you worked hard in order to provide, in order to put food on the table, all of that kind of stuff, right? And then, it's like, okay, well, I guess that's what you do, right? You're told to be, that's what you need to do all the time. And it's nice now in this season to be able to say, like you said, Michelle, I'm doing what I want to do. My drive and ambition is coming from a place of what is fueling me to do the career that I want to do.
Right.
And that makes it different.
It does. And I'm sorry, before about the dog barking, I apologize. I think I heard somebody say before about other people, they had their drive and ambition earlier and now they don't have any. And I wonder if sometimes I hear people say that they get to our age, or they're tired of always having that drive and ambition, and they just don't want to do it anymore. And to me, this is my little thought in my little brain. I can't do that, because then I'm drying up. Like I need something challenging to challenge my brain, to challenge who I am, because we get up every day, we have to live our life. And I don't sit and challenge myself every single freaking day. I make sure that it's all challenging, but there is a drive there and there is an ambition, because I had done all that corporate stuff and my children are all grown and they all have their lives and I have my life here. And now I just want to enjoy. So my drive and ambition kind of is my enjoyment also in life.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So, but and people think, I don't know for you ladies, but people think to me, like, why are you doing what you're doing?
Oh yeah. I've been asked that several times.
Even with working out, or even with whatever, why do you do what you do? You're so unique. I don't think I'm unique. I got you two ladies. You're just,
But what else are you doing then? Like, so if you don't have drive and ambition, so now I just sit, like, what what's the alternative?
Mm.
If you have to have some in order to, I don't know, be excited about life and enjoy what's going on, I
Yeah,
believe.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from drive and ambition. Like,
Mhm.
I want more out of life, and I'm going to
Yeah.
keep trying to get that.
do you think though that people think drive and ambition correlates only with working or hard work or in that aspect of it?
I would think that that's probably the majority of what people think, although you look at Amber and there's like a ton of drive and ambition right there
Yeah.
for something totally different, right? Like a totally different thing that she's going for. So again though, I think that she is of a younger generation.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they think differently than we do.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
they possibly have been brought up differently than we were.
Yeah. Also, I don't, I'm trying to think how old she is right now. Hold on. 37. Okay. I don't know many 37-year-olds females that have never ran and decided all of a sudden, let's go run 250. But
Right.
with that said, when she talked about Tough Mudders and me doing with her, I was in my late 50s before I started doing that. I would have never thought of doing that in my 30s.
Mhm.
Mm.
So my drive and ambition changed.
Yeah.
But it's still there.
But it is. And the thing is that I wonder if one starts to fuel other things, right? Like
Sure.
as you decide that you're going to do something, create a goal, which creates drive and ambition, right? If you're going to have a goal, then you're ambitious to even set one. Then I wonder if that energy, it doesn't flow into other things and it creates that create more goals, more things that you want to do.
Right. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's, so how do you think you form drive and ambition? Like, do you think it's like, I don't think one day I woke up when I was in my corporate world and said, oh, it was like I took these normal steps, like what kind of was expected. And I knew the hard work I needed to do to get to where I had to be. Even when, but if you don't have that ambition, how do you get ambition, or do you not?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how many times I had two boys and I still have them. Growing up, it'd be like, you just have no ambition today. Like you have no, like, what are you going to do with your life? Like, when do you get and how do you get ambition?
I think possibly through the desire to want something different than what you're experiencing right now.
Okay.
I think your environment.
Your environment.
Yeah.
That's, yes. Yes. I think that's huge. When you're around people that are driven and have that, maybe not the same goal as you do, but have that same energy.
Mhm.
That's a big one. I like
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. I mean, they always say, if you want to level up your life, like start hanging out with different people,
Yeah.
True.
right? It's like, and that just goes to what you just said, Tracy. I mean, that is so important, because the moment you are around people who have drive and ambition, right? They think differently.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you can't help but sit there, and you're either going to be a part of that conversation or you're out, right? It's like, okay, this is way too uncomfortable for me. I can't participate and I'm out. Or you're going to be like, okay, well, like, but wow, this is really interesting. Like, how do I participate in this with this group?
Well, just to reference the Amber episode, that's what she said. She saw how it was and went, I'm missing out on something here. I
Yeah.
want to be involved in this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Desire.
desire
Yeah.
and environment.
I like that. I like that. I was just wondering, like, if somebody's listening to this, well, how do I grab ambition and,
Yeah.
you know, but it's no different than, it's a form of a mindset, I think,
Mm.
too. Because you can't be in a negative, always me, everyone's against me mindset and be ambitious.
Yeah.
You can, and I know there's, people had, and this is probably going off topic, there is this whole thought process, leaders are born, not made, and, you have those certain ambition genes or whatever. And I think that's all poppycock, meaning, and there are certain leaders that are naturally born
Yeah.
leaders.
Mm.
But I do think a leader can be made and molded and formed. And you can have ambition and drive. You just have to, you're not born with it at all times. You have to sometimes learn how to get it, change your environment, change your people, change your thought process, desire something different.
Yeah.
It all has to start somewhere.
Well, I also think with our age, ambition and drive was like a dirty word, like, oh, she's ambitious, she's driven. So we know what she is.
Right.
And so,
Yeah. Wonderful B word.
yeah.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't bossy.
And I just think whatever word you use, I just think it is trying to improve yourself, trying to get to where you want to go. And it shouldn't be a nasty, dirty word.
Right. I do think, like Tracy, you said, it is different now. I do think as a woman, being ambitious is not so much of a bad thing any longer as it was as when we were growing up, climbing that corporate ladder, that type of aspect. I remember 2 years ago, I was down in Florida. I went next door to where I was staying, to a friend's house. And a gentleman walked over to me and he said, do you work? And I said, well, currently I lost my position because of COVID. And this is what he said to me. He was an older gentleman. He's a very sweet gentleman. Well, you were a nurse or a teacher? And I said, neither. I was a salesperson selling towing supplies to tow truck drivers. And he just looked at me and said, oh, and walked away. But that was his expectation of me.
Mhm.
And if I think back, that was the same age as my parents and this and that. Not that they had that expectation of me, but you go by the expectations that are put in front of you sometimes.
Yeah, very true.
And I don't think we do that to our girls or women or teens any longer.
I think it's getting less. I think there's, we have a long way to go for improvement's sake. I mean, what did I read just a little while ago? I think there was some women's soccer team who's finally getting paid the same as the men's soccer team.
The women's,
because it's like, I mean, there is that inequality that still exists,
absolutely.
In terms of fees and all that. So we still have a long way to go, but I think that window is opening, or it certainly seems to be that in my perception anyways of what I see and what I read. So
yes.
And that's where you get drive and ambition too, is watching maybe female sports. Like you start to see, there's way more female sports out there being showcased, and maybe that's where you learn a little bit of it too, is seeing them achieve.
Yeah. And that's why I asked Amber that last question, was because I didn't want women watching that episode saying, well, I don't want to run 250. Well, then don't run 250. But what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? There is, whatever that could be. Someone said to me this past weekend we were away, and said, "Oh, Michelle, we're talking about going skiing. Do you ski?" And I'm like, "Nope." "Well, guess we can't go skiing." And I'm like, "I can still go skiing. If I decide to take a lesson when I'm there, I will, and I'll go skiing. But
Right.
I can read a book. I can do this. There's other things I can do. Like, don't say because someone can't do something, like, you never know what opportunities will open. And that's just a simple one. Do you want to go skiing in the wintertime? I think it was, I forgot where it was, but that's here or there. But so ambition and driven. Yeah, I think I still got it. I think you ladies still got it. And I think I'm going to have it for a very long time. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know any other way.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So I don't know any other way.
No. But we would love to hear what drives you. Like, what motivates you, drives you, what's your ambitions, or what are you nervous about if you're going to try something? Like, where do you feel you're missing that? And maybe it'll be a topic we can talk about in future episodes. Also, share this with somebody that you think would benefit from it. Subscribe every Wednesday. We have a new episode coming out. And if you want to make sure you hear about our episodes, make sure you hit the notification tab. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.